Kilted Ballz. I don't know why I counted down, but I started doing it, and I was like, "Oops, I better do that." And we just seriously lost Kilted in the first, like, I don't know, 5 seconds of the podcast. Woo! That would have been a big delay. I would have had to fill space. Speaking of filling space, welcome back to everybody to another episode of the Kilted Ballz podcast. Ballbuster and Kilted here. Glad to see you. Thanks for joining us again. We're super happy. And yes, this got cleared off, right? I know, and I have some daily growth, so I cut it. I don't know, maybe on Friday or Thursday. But basically, it needed to be trimmed up, and so I was like trimming it up and maybe thinking about going to goatee. And I'm like, Cal was with me, and I'm like, hey, do you think I should make this back to like a goatee? And he's like, no, you need to cut it all off. And I'm like, I'm just thinking trimming it up. I go, it doesn't look too bad. He's like, you promised you would cut it off after the finals. And I'm like, I didn't promise that. And he's like, yes, you did. You said you're going to cut it all off. I'm like, me saying I'm going to cut it all off is not a promise. And he's like, well, still, you said you were going to. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, cut it all off. And he's like, yeah, that's way better. And then, like, who saw me first? I guess my wife saw me first. And she's like, oh, and my hair was long, right? So it was down to my neck. And she's like, oh my gosh, you look just like Aunt Peggy. And I was like, okay. And so then we went. Cal was spending the night with Ava for the weekend. So like a little college visit. And she saw me and she's like, oh, I don't think you can do like no facial hair and long hair. I think you might have to grow that back. And I'm like, you think so? And she's like, yeah, because you kind of look like Aunt Peggy. So I'm trying to find one. I sent one to my buddy Rick today. And, and no lie, I'm going to show you the thing. So first off, I was like, I'm like, I got to get my hair cut. Or we had the bad storms come through. I don't know if you heard about that. And so they didn't have power and the power lines were all down around their house. So he's like, can you check out my house? I'm like, yeah, as soon as I'm done here, I'm getting my hair cut. And I sent him a picture. Sorry, Spotify listeners, it is a picture of me at the barber shop getting ready to get my hair cut. But the best part of that was, I don't know if you can see the message right below that. Can you read that? It says, LOL, is that Peggy? So apparently Peggy and I have some familial resemblance. Right. Well, and then I sent him this and said, there it is. So there it is after it was cut. But I did notice, and I think he was just too nice to say anything, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure I got balls on my chin. I'm like a Balchinian. Yes. It's exactly what it was like. So yeah. So people who are listening, yeah, the facial hair is all gone. I don't have a beard anymore. And then because everybody was telling me I looked like my sister, and Cal wanted his hair cut. So him and I have both been growing it since August. Well, we were supposed to get it cut in the end of August, and the line was too long at the barber, so we were like, screw this, and then we never went back. So we already needed a haircut at the end of August. So who knows how long. Right, we were going there for our school haircut. And so it was growing before then. So whenever we had let it go before that. But so then all the way until now, right? So I mean, it's probably been 10, 11 months that him and I were letting it go. So it was pretty long. Both of us was down to our shoulders. So he got his trimmed up and then I got mine cut. And I kept asking, hey, I'm like, do you want me to do anything special? And she's like, I don't know. I don't care. And then she started showing me pictures, which was funny. But because we had a long wait at the barber again. And I went there Friday to get it done. But again, we were going to take Cal to see Ava. And there was like a long line and we waited for about 10, 15 minutes, because all the barbers were like, oh my gosh, look at your hair. What happened to your face? And so we were all chatting because they haven't seen me in a year. And so then we left because I'm like, yeah, I can't wait. So, because we were going down to Western. But then I went in there today and they were all excited to cut it. And so, like, the guy's cutting it and he, like, looks at Amy and he's like, don't you want it to look like this? Like, and she was like, yeah, that looks really good. And he's like, okay, let me trim it up and add some lines and stuff. And, let me show you guys what it's all like. And he's like, you always just comb it straight back anyway, don't you? I'm like, well, normally I don't have to worry about it. So I go, but yeah, when it's long, I just comb it straight back. And he's like, yeah. He goes, this will be a good look for you. And she was like, yeah, I really like that. And then she kept looking at me like all night. And she's like, oh, that's a good look. I like that look. And I was like, well, I'm sitting here going, cripe. I was super excited when I got an okay on St. Patty's Day. Like, oh, you look okay. I'm like, she was like, oh, I like that. I'm like, oh, we're at a whole different level now. Whole different level. Yep, yep. But I think we all agree I need a little bit more facial hair so that I don't, you know. We don't need those double chins. Yeah. Aw, it's so cute. So now he looks like a respectable young man. That's awesome. Oh, and then we went to the meat store afterwards, and they had pre-cooked ribs, like already done. They had brisket, ribs, all sorts of stuff, and I was like, it was like $20. I'm like, yeah, we're getting that. And so we got that. They had asparagus. We went next door to the bread store, got some bread, and I'm like, yeah, dinner. Heated it up. It was like great. I was like, ooh, that's dangerous because I really like ribs, but I never make ribs because it's kind of a process. Yeah, we didn't go to that meat store. We went to the new one in DeWitt. It's a Bellinger's. This is Bellinger's. It's like a butcher shop. But they had the ribs already cooked and done, and so we're like, yeah, let's try it. And I threw them in the oven for a while, and they got super, like, falling off the bone. Like, I'd pick up the bone. I know. I was like, this for $20. I'm like, I don't know how much ribs cost, but that makes me kind of happy. So, because I would spend more than $20 on my own at the restaurant. So, I'm like, that seems like a good deal to me. But yeah. So sorry, people on Spotify, you can't see this super cool hair. So, how was it? Was it scary? Right. Right. Yeah. I thought you'd be gone a lot longer. You guys would be gone a lot longer. Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. Has it always been that way? That's sweet. So it was just you. It wasn't like you and the family. That's cool. I thought you guys were doing. At first, I thought it was like a whole day thing, but then you're like, oh yeah, we're doing a thing tonight, and I thought you guys were like going to the bar and hanging out and stuff, not just a little dinner. And he's going to Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee. Okay. So still like not unreasonable to see him again. Yeah, but you might be in Nashville area. It seems like. Oh wow. And does that group actually play D&D past like 3 sessions? Yeah. And for those of you who saw Kilted get confused right there, the joke is we have a D&D group that we have been meeting every Wednesday night. Gal, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. So we used to play games online, and then it would be like whatever was the flavor of the month or year we would jump on Wednesday nights, and then we started doing D&D, and then Kilted got in pre-COVID. Well, just during COVID, I think. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, and so our new D&D group. So we played other games, but then we started focusing really on D&D, and we played a couple really really good campaigns. But then traditionally, when you take into account all the campaigns we've started, our campaigns do not last very long. Yeah. Yeah. And well, and no, that's true. And part of it that this is interesting for our listeners, and I don't know if it's interesting to you or not, but like theoretically, the we had one of our people who was like, "Yeah, I think I'm done. I'm not going to play anymore." And I would think to most people there that I would have had no idea that that was happening because apparently, and this is what I wanted to bring up because I thought this was funny or that it was more a sign of like our growth, maybe. But everybody in the group had a separate group chat that I wasn't part of. And I was not even even a tiny bit um I was about to say something profound, but the basics were I didn't care. Like I didn't feel hurt that they were in a different group chat. I didn't feel weird that they were. I knew they were talking about stuff and none of that affected me. And I'm like, I think if this had happened like in my early or in my 20s or 30s, I think I would have been like, why are they leaving me out of this group chat? Why are they talking? Why couldn't I be in there? Why blah blah blah? And this time, like literally didn't care at all. Like David said, like, I don't know, 2 days ago or something, like, hey, we have this group chat that I think we started before the campaign. You're not in it, and they're all talking, and I'm going to tell them, like, they don't know how to play D&D or something like that. And I was like, cool story, bro. Like, I was just like, whatever, have fun. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right, right. Yeah. Yeah. I think Dave was. I think he was sending me screenshots of it. Not all of it, not all of it, but he would be like, "This is what I said. This is what they said. This is what I said." And the whole time I was just like, "Cool." Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the funny part today was our buddy, for our listeners, our buddy was like, "Yeah, I'm done. Clearly I don't understand and blah blah blah." And like you said, if you're not having fun, like that's cool. The problem is he is having a freaking fantastic, great time. He's having a great time. So it makes no sense that he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm out." Like you're the one having the best time, honestly. Oh, see that's new. So I didn't see anything about that. Yeah. No, no. Oh. Whoop whoop. Yes. 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 Totally. And we like still disc golf like probably one or two times a week with each other. Hmm. Right. Oh yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. I very much felt that it was super real, which maybe that's what they didn't like. I was like, this is beautiful. It's real. It's great. And that could be what they didn't like about it, right? Like a lot of times people play D&D. I was thinking about this a week or so ago. I'm like, a lot of times people play D&D for escapism. And I'm like, so like Dave's like, they really want to get into like characters and backstories and rate classes. And I'm like, right. And he's like, I don't care about any of that. And I'm like, right, because you're not trying to escape. Like you don't care because you're not trying to escape your life. Well, and I gave that knowledge to them because I knew that they would get upset. So I was like, hey, just so you're clear, you should have already had your class. There shouldn't be any way you don't have it by the end of next week, right? Yes. Mm-hmm. For sure. We've even done made up systems. Yeah, yeah, which is great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you got to do you, right? That's the whole point is that we're supposed to be there having a good time, which is why when our buddy was like, "Yeah, I'm done," I'm like, I don't understand that because the whole reason we're doing this is to have a good time, and you are clearly having a good time, so you should keep doing it. People who are not having a good time should stop doing it. Like your logic makes zero sense at all, right? Zero sense. Yeah. Yes. Well, and you and I are not drama people, right? And I think a couple of our people might be drama people. And so, like today, when I saw that text, like you literally didn't have to send a text, you just had to not show up. You just had to show up, which is totally like okay. Like nobody's like feeling weird about it. Yeah. No, it doesn't. And that you and I are that way. So, but they kind of like their drama, right? Like I'm like the only reason you're doing that is because you either are trying to get drama or you're hoping that someone's like, "Oh no, stay, please stay with me," right? Mm-hmm. No, no, it's good. It's good. Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. There's a good run, and I'll still be on Wednesday nights at 8:30. So, yep, that's like in my calendar. Right. Right. He would not have been able to handle my campaign. Right, right. That's just silly. Silly, silly. I know, listeners, but it has a strong message, right? Like, you shouldn't feel bad when people like leave you out of a group chat, right? Like, I would have. I would have. And so that's like my piece of advice. Part of the reason we did this podcast was I wanted messages preserved for my children. And that's one of them. In high school, in your early 20s, you feel like, oh no, I'm getting left out of stuff. And that's really your own insecurities talking. Once you feel secure in who you are, that stuff doesn't bother you anymore. And that's where you want to get. You want to get to the point where, like I remember thinking early on, like I'd be at work and people would like be having a wedding and I wouldn't be invited and other people would. And I'd be like, "Oh, why didn't I get invited? Like what's wrong with me that I didn't get invited?" And now, like I'm like so far past that. Like people don't invite me. I'm like, "Well, that's good." Like I remember saying one time to like I think it was my wife or something. I was like, "Yeah, so and so didn't invite me," and she's like, "Would you have gone?" I'm like, "No, but it still hurts." And she's like, "Well, I can understand that." And now I'm like, "Yeah, why would you? Like, why?" You know what I mean? It's a totally different frame of reference, right? Because like I don't invite people. Like I wouldn't even think about it. So I'm like, so you grow. I guess that's the point, listeners. You grow, and getting to there sooner will make you a happier person. Like, you should not have your happiness tied in other people's actions. Right. Yes. Yeah. Well, and I bet that is great. It's just great. I wonder if part of this, and it circles back to something we talk about all the time, which is, live in a state of gratitude. Like when I don't get invited to something, I'm like, yeah, but I've got Cal to hang out with, or my girls, or Amy, or oh, I'm gonna get online with Jer. Oh, I'm gonna play Rocket League or see if you know what I mean. Like I'm never like if we don't play D&D, I'm gonna be doing something else that's fun. So literally, it doesn't like affect us because we're always happy with whatever other opportunity is there, and we're excited about whatever opportunity is there instead of regretting that other thing. We're just excited to do something else. So, however people are. So maybe if you focus on gratitude, you won't feel like you're left out of other stuff. right? Or maybe, as we've already established, Kilted and I are just weirdos. So, like, maybe we should feel bad. I don't think so. No. Like, I just recently, one of the people who was at my job when I got hired just got married. I didn't even like, I kind of knew it, but I didn't even realize it. Like, but like, it was like a destination one. And some of my other colleagues like went there as well. It was like over Christmas break or something, right? Clearly I would have been too busy, right? Like, but like they went and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I hope you like had a fantastic time." Like, I hope it was great. And they're like, "Oh, it was so good." And like the other friends, I was like, "What did you guys do?" Like, I was excited for them to have that experience. But I now reflecting, I'm like, man, 24-year-old me would have been so sad. And I'm like, yes, yes, no. And which was totally good. Totally good. And I was like, literally never even crossed my mind to feel bad. It's just now that I'm like, oh, should I have felt bad? And then I'm like, nah, like I didn't. Like, I was just so excited. Like, I've heard a couple stories since then. And I'm like, what an awesome time. Like, but that's the difference, right? You're living for your own like deal and for other people's deal, not you having to be part of everybody's deal. I don't know. I guess that's the message today, listeners. That's the message. Focus on yourself, not all the gibberish and drama around you, which is literally what we're talking about with D&D, right? He is upset and leaving the group because he's sad about how other people are feeling. Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think he's actually upset. But why are you upset about how somebody else feels? Yeah. Yes, he was. He was for sure. He was definitely doing that to egg them on. Yeah. Because he told me. He goes, "This is what I'm going to say. Because I'm going to egg them on." So that for sure was him. And easily makes the top 10 list of things worthless to worry about. Right. It's just a role playing game. You're telling a story together. Ooh, there you go. No. I'm pretty sure it wasn't me. That'd be amazing, though. Well, good. Look at that. D&D just turned our episode into some fun stuff. I like it. Makes me happy. Yeah. And listeners, we're getting about that time. We didn't do our interview yet with Amy. She wants. I thought I was going to do Amy this weekend too. She said she was like. At first, I thought she was like saying she wasn't going to do an interview, but then she was like, "I'm not ready to do an interview yet." And I'm like, ooh, yeah. So, how about now? I did. I asked like 3 times that day, are you ready now? She did not think it was as funny as you and I think it is. But I think she's just like got to wrap her head around it. And that is a hard thing to talk about. Like you and I have no trouble talking about all of our stuff. For her, I think, that's kind of laying herself out there for people. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we should like white out her face and put like one of those things that changes your voice so she can be like witness protection. We have a person who is not my wife talking about her religion. Maybe I can make an AI of her. This is clearly not her. do one that looks just like her. It'd be fun. Right. Well, I mean, my daughters kind of look like her too. So that's the thing. Yeah. Wasn't there something last episode that you were going to talk about and we ran out of time? There was something right as we got off. You're like, oh, I wanted to say that. Mm-hmm. Have you ever watched Universal Remote? You should watch that. That's my message to you. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I think. Let me double check. No. I mean, I think I've watched it before. Oh wait, it's not that. Cuz that's not. Oh, it's called Click. Phew. Yeah. So Click is the one I want you to watch. Let me see where to watch. It's free on Roku. You got to pay for it on the others. So far, it looks that way. Is that like, I thought IMBD wasn't like a channel. Yeah, Adam Sandler, that's the one. Yep. Yep. That'll cement your message. So, listeners, if you're wondering how he's feeling right now, it's the plot behind Click. Yeah, I think it's important. It's a big thing. Well, listeners, we have hit the edge of our time. We want to thank you for joining us for, what is this, episode 225? Man, we are just plugging along, baby, plugging along. So hopefully you've enjoyed hanging with us. We are going to be back in a week, and maybe we'll even have an interview by then. I don't know. We'll see. But just happy that you all exist. And this is Ballbuster signing off.